Welcome to Design the Life You Love. Are you ready to experiment with me? Thank you. So, you all have these beautiful bags, and look inside. There's a worksheet. Take that out, and take out your favorite pens or pencils, and let's do this together. Yes, I'm going to make you work, and this is how it's going to go. See, here's the thing. Often, what we want and what we need oppose each other, and they cancel each other out. But if you can make what you want and what you need come together in harmony, that's creativity. So, what I want to do is to tell you the story of Design the Life You Love. But what I need to do, now that I've found 1,500 of you here, I need to get you started on designing your lives. And so that's our creative experiment. So I'll do the talking, and you'll do the creative thinking, but we're going to do this playfully, because when we're playing, we're like kids. We're not afraid of making mistakes, and that's exactly the spirit for our designing the life we love. So let's start with a warm-up, a drawing exercise. And you know what you're going to draw? You're going to draw me, because you're looking at me. So take 2-3 minutes to draw me, and look. These are the portraits, my portraits from my students at SVA, School of Visual Arts in New York. And, I mean, look at those portraits, right? I still gave them a passing grade. So, no rights or wrongs here. We're just playing together. While you draw me, and I can see you, so please draw me, I'm going to tell you the story of how it all started. So I grew up in Turkey in a family of lawyers, and I thought I was going to become a lawyer until I realized I love to draw. And so I thought, well, maybe I should do architecture. And then a family friend came to tea, and he asked me about industrial design. And I had never heard of industrial design before. And he said, look, Ayse, see this teacup? How the edge is curved? It's so that it can fit our lips better. And you see it has a handle. It's so that we can hold hot liquid in our hands without burning ourselves. And the saucer is there so that if you spill your tea, you won't ruin your mother's beautiful tablecloth. And at that moment, I fell in love with the human scale of industrial design. And that's what I've been doing ever since. Designing office systems for Herman Miller, kitchen tools and gadgets for Target. I even designed a toilet seat, and for a while there, I was known as Queen of Toilets. Compliment. Designing the Mafrik collection for Moroso with West African craftspeople. Doing design strategy projects for companies like Nissan, Tiffany & Co., Toyota, Colgate-Palmolive. But here is my favorite project. So in 2001, Renault, the French automobile manufacturer, asked me if I would design a concept interior for them from the perspective of an industrial designer. And I didn't know much about cars, so I asked them, could you send a mentor from your side to work with me? And they said, we'll send you Bibi Sek, and you're going to love him. And apparently, they told Bibi the same thing. You're going to love her. So guess what happened? We fell in love. Office romance par excellence. So things started happening really fast after that, and we had our best products, our children. We formed our partnership together, Birsel plus Sek, and we started working like crazy. and taking care of our family full time. And things were going really, really well. And if you were to deconstruct my life at that moment, you would find that my emotion was, I was happy and in love. And we had a large family and we were living in New York. That was the physical of my life. And intellectually, we were solving problems for these large corporations, and the spirit of my life was trying to figure out this life-work balance. And so take a moment and look at your deconstruction map and start filling that in. So we are at Design Indaba. So what's your mood this morning? Put that down in emotion. And your physical, well, we're in Cape Town, we're in Artscape, you can feel the physical. And intellectually, we're at a design conference, so our intellect is being creative together. And our spirit is collaborating and sharing and learning from each other. So my happy life came to a sudden end when the economy crashed in 2008. Happy, sad. Because it seemed like overnight, but almost all of our clients took their work in-house. And we found ourselves with no projects, lots of time in our hands. And I felt so frustrated and so responsible. I had uprooted Bibi from his great life in Paris. Now we had a family to take care of. And I think it was the first time in my life I thought, you know, I should have become a lawyer. Design was hard. And so a friend of mine, Leah Kaplan, who's one of my best friends and collaborators, she saw the funk I was in, and she said, look, Ayse, you have all this time in your hands. Why don't you use this time to think about how you think? Because you think differently. And that was like a lifeline for me. I thought, somebody still believes in my thinking. And my thinking was that I thought like a designer. And Leah was reminding me of something that I had come to take for granted. So how do we think as designers? We're optimists. No matter how hard the problem, we think we're going to solve it. And so that optimism drives our energy. And then we think with empathy, holistically, across emotion, physical, intellect, spirit. And we were collaboratively asking what-if questions. So that became my saving point. And I thought, well, this is like a design project, and I'm thinking like a designer. So what I need is inspiration. And my inspiration at that time came from my heroes, because in life, it's other people that inspire us, our heroes. And we all have different heroes. These people could be people we know of or people we know in person. So I'm going to ask you to move to the point of view, our exercise around our heroes. So write their name down. Who inspires you in your life? Write their name down. Do an icon for them and write their qualities. What is it about them that inspires you? And so if you said Zaha Hadid, you might want to do an icon with her mole. And then her qualities are her perseverance, her unique point of view, and her strength. So this is your exercise to fill. And I'm going to ask for volunteers, so beware. And what's interesting about our heroes is that we might have the same hero, but for very different reasons. So you might say that my hero is Mandela because he's all about peace, unifier of people, and he's a humanist. Or you might say Mandela is my hero because he's a warrior, he's resilient, he's a protester and defender of our rights, symbolized by this fist. I also want to share with you some of the qualities of our heroes that other people have shared with me so that we could be inspired by them. And so now you're going to see me speed read Authentic place, constant evolution, perseverance, grace under pressure, fearless determination, walking to your own drum, integrity, saving lives, having your own voice, consummate teacher, redefine the way something is done, longevity, mindful, generosity, inclusive, full of humility, curiosity, fearlessly pursuing dreams, courageous, audacity, kick ass, and be the best at what you love. So if you see anything in this list that resonates with you, you can add that to the qualities under your heroes, because we're here learning together. So my hero is Rowena Reed Costello, my teacher, very strong-willed, resilient, beautiful woman who was the best at what she did. And she had developed a process for teaching designers like myself how to design in 3 dimensions. And with the inspiration from her, I started putting my life back together again. So now I want to ask you, my volunteers, who are your heroes and what are their qualities? May I have one volunteer? A volunteer here. Could we give her the microphone, please?
Yes, my hero is Rihanna, funny enough.
Your hero... I couldn't hear that.
Rihanna.
Rihanna. And why?
Because she had a dream of being a singer, and she was from a small island and went to a big country like America to fulfill her dream, and she became one of the best singers in her genre. And even on top of that, she had other interests in different careers. And regardless of her keeping her career as a singer, she pursued fashion design and other dreams that she had.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Can we give her a hand, please? Thank you. May I have another volunteer? One more. Yes. Could we have a mic here, please?
My hero is the French writer and the musician Boris Vian. And I picked him because he is this kind of multi-talent, super creative, and he has done, he wrote and he was a jazz musician and actor and all sorts of other things. And he really reminds me of perseverance, and he was actually quite ill as a child, and the doctor said he probably won't live beyond teenage years. And he passed on early, like around 40s, but had this amazing legacy of multi-talent, creativity, and also not taking him too seriously himself.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that. Thank you so much. Could we have a hand, please? I'm grateful to my volunteers, and I want to tell you that, like your hero, you're multi-talented and super creative, and you persevere, and you don't take yourself too seriously. And you, like Rihanna, you are realizing your own dreams, and you're also multi-talented and the best at what you do. And the reason I can say this with confidence is because what we see in our heroes are our own values, what we admire in them. And the reason we admire them is because they carry our values, and we want to emulate those. So, on that note, cross out your heroes' names and put your own name down, because you've just made the list of your own values. And we need our values to design the life we love, because our values are the foundation of our life, and they allow us to make choices. In reconstruction, our third step is about making choices, knowing that we can't have everything. So start writing down, based on your values, what's the emotion, what's the physical, what's the intellect, and what's the spirit of the life you love? What are your ingredients? And for me, coming out of this time of self-reflection about how I think, I developed my process, deconstruction, reconstruction. You've already done the first 3 steps: deconstruction, taking something apart; point of view, inspiration, seeing the same things differently; and then reconstruction, putting it back together again, knowing we can't have everything. And then once I had that, I thought, well, my life is my biggest project. And I have a design process. And I thought, could I apply my design process to my life? And with that, Design the Life You Love was born. Applying design process and tools to think about our life like designers. And the whole idea here is to be able to make 1 + 1 equal something unique, a unique idea, a unique vision. And so our last step is expression. How are we going to express our vision for our life? Because in design, if you can visualize something, you can make it happen. And so in our life, what's our vision map? So different people have come up with different ideas, different vision maps. Big Bird, I am Big Bird. I stand tall, I am strong, and I'm gentle. And every morning I will embody these qualities. Or for this other person, I'm the Zen master of my garden, working around the stones I cannot move. Or for this person, I'm the center of my life tree, fully alive, and each ring in that tree marked by a project, from here to 2050, a life built on my values. For this person, he's the Tintin of his life. So pioneering, steadfast, brave, bold, adventurous. And now, my vision map. I want to be the Katy Perry of Design the Life You Love. You might say, why? But remember, I have these 2 girls who were watching Katy Perry's The Tour, and I watched it with them, and I fell in love with how Katy Perry connects with young people and their parents with the beauty of her music, and I thought, that's what I want to do. And so here we are, right? To me, design Indaba and artscape is the Madison Square Garden of design. Look at you, 1,500 people. And Bibi, the force, is here, and Seda, the closer, is here. Ravi Naidu, the producer, is here. Awa and Alev, our daughters, are at school, but Wali, my stepson, is here. I am on tour. This is my Katy Perry moment. Thank you. So your homework is to go home over a cup of tea or a glass of wine, develop your vision map. Who are you in the life you love? And, you can get the book. I think I'm doing another workshop tomorrow. Come to my workshop, join us on Facebook, and let's become part of this community of people who are designing their lives and teaching other people to design their lives. Because, see, when Bibi and I were growing up, we grew up in very different places. I grew up in Turkey, he grew up in Senegal, but our parents gave us a roadmap. A very linear roadmap that if you followed it, you could have a good life. But, today, there are no roadmaps. We have our daughters, but we don't have a roadmap to give to them because things are changing so fast. And this is an incredible, incredible challenge. But it's also a wonderful opportunity because in design, challenges are our opportunities. So the opportunity is there are no roadmaps. So design the life you love. Design a life that's based on your values, that's coherent with who you are, that feels like you, tastes like you, smells like you. Design the life you love, and then go and live it. Thank you so much. Thank you.